Discretion is advised.
Happy Monday. You are listening and or watching PWNCAST. This is episode 159. We are in patch 7.2. Today we are going to be talking about all the latest news in World of Warcraft, including PvP win trading accounts banned. Person returns the StarCraft source code that he bought off eBay in a box of stuff and gets free stuff from Blizzard. That's going to be pretty awesome. We're going to be covering some small things in 7.2.5. We have that and much, much more, so make sure you guys stay right here.
You have crossed into the world of the dead in search of answers.
Amongst the Azeroth elite, there is a group that defies convention. A group that stands in the face of trolls and doesn't flinch. A group that strives on unity, trust, and unwavering resolve. A group that eats tacos. For the players, by the players, we bring you. She can start a revolt with a Chaos Bolt, Bell, the PWNCAST Vanguard. Snap back and get faster for the pet battle Grandmaster, Gemma Banks. He's sharp as a dagger with that dapper swagger, Secret Sauce. With holy might as strong as his ancient knowledge, Remedies, the Argent Loremaster. We bow to no one. We are Legion. We are PWNCAST.
Welcome back. I did bring these gentlemen with me. You're probably noticing that Secret is not here again. This should be the last week that he's out. He had a small change in his work schedule for 2 weeks, so we are just going to hold down the fort until he gets here. Kind of awkward to not have him. I'm used to 4
sad day
people, but he's sleeping right now and he really needs to because his schedule's kind of wishy-washy. But he should be back next week. So
he goes to work the same time I do. So
right, and he normally works nights. So
you unmuted us.
Yes, I unmuted you. I did bring the Riders of Rohan with me. I did bring the monk who finally learned that donkey roll.
Remedy showed me. How's that going?
Gemma Banks. So for 10 points to those of you that are listening or watching that can send me an email or comments on the show where the donkey roll is from, I will love you forever if you know where the donkey roll is from. Gemma, are you gonna show us?
No, I don't know how to do it, actually. I just learned, but you know how shy I am right at the party last time. I wouldn't do much dancing. I'm not much of a dancer.
I'm going to play Incredible Thoughts at DitchCon.
I think that's a good idea.
Rem, did you want to demonstrate the donkey roll?
I can't do it on the whole camera, but yeah.
I pictured it when you said it like my monk roll. I was trying to think of the name for it.
It's so good. Because I am a style boy for life. I did also bring the paladin who likes to scramble eggs in Warsong. Remedies, what?
I did the Warsong Scramble this weekend because I worked all week, but the Warsong Scramble was actually pretty fun. It wasn't overwhelmingly amazing, but it was fun factor for sure.
It's kind of what happens when you eat Taco Bell. It's not overwhelmingly amazing.
See, but that's the thing. TMI, but I've never had any stomach issues eating Taco Bell years and years.
I don't have stomach issues either. It's just very clear that it's not authentic.
Yeah.
Anything. Yeah. The hard shells give it away. I'm a taco snob also. I mean, I like Taco Bell well enough. There's some things that I do enjoy on their menu. But yeah.
It never hurts my stomach because I don't go there.
Yeah, because you eat the spicy chickens from Wendy's.
Oh, I almost overdosed.
He does like the Wendy's chicken.
Every day he was posting all day on his Facebook about how he was eating another spicy chicken.
Those were bad.
Well, I felt really bad for your inner parts.
He doesn't have Chick-fil-A, so whenever I got a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A, I send him a picture.
Yeah, that did look good.
Chick-fil-A is...
I've only seen memes about it. What is this Chick-fil-A?
It's so good. So good.
I'll get you some when you come out here.
Deal.
So there was a recent wave of win trading accounts that were banned. There was also some ones that were not supposed to be banned that were. Now, for those of you who don't know what win trading is, this is in large part specifically to PvP. I think it might also be for certain mythic carries where real world currency is exchanged for completion of in-game things. So they've banned, yelled at, screamed at, done all the things. I think it's great. I like that they're actively, taking care of it. They're not dealing with people that are trading in-game currency. This is strictly, real life money that people are trading. Which
not allowed.
No, it's not allowed, at all. So it's good that they're doing that. But it helps. I think it just kind of helps remind people, please don't be a dick. You don't need to exchange real life money. There's just don't.
I think everyone wants that title or that number or that achievement that they didn't earn, and they'll just rather buy it.
And I think that's really, to each his own, right? It's cool. These guys want to do that, whatever. It's against terms of service, whatever. But I feel like you're paying for it. Why? To me, the satisfaction is in getting that.
Satisfaction.
So.
I wouldn't pay real money for a lot of stuff in WoW except that magic rooster. So
that's because you like big cocks, though. So I've heard. I don't know if that's true. You'll have to tell me, but I heard it was really big.
Riding it virtually, yeah, sure, why not?
Well, it's all fun and games till someone buys a plane ticket. Just kidding. No, seriously, that really does happen, and it's scary when stuff like that happens.
That's why you don't use your real address when you say hey.
On Reddit, a individual discovered a gold disc that was the StarCraft source code. He had bought a random box of Blizzard stuff on eBay, and that was in there. So he gives this to Blizzard, and a couple days later he gets a call from Blizzard, and Blizzard says, I want to thank you. You didn't have to do that. We appreciate this. That was in fact stolen. So it was not one
I was
that
to say, how did it even?
Yeah, it was stolen. So they are taking care of him for BlizzCon. He's getting all expenses paid for BlizzCon. Which is great because this person wasn't able to go because of money. Now, I saw some comments on the IGN article, which really kind of perturbed me. And some of the comments were, really, that's the best Blizzard could do is to pay for him to go to BlizzCon? Seriously, people? What the fuck is wrong with people? You're complaining? Are you kidding me? Number one, he doesn't need a reward, okay? He did a solid, normal, humanitarian thing. He did what you should do. Nobody should reward you for being a solid citizen, right? However, Blizzard did reward him, and I think they rewarded him quite well. Blizzard's not obligated to give him shit. Right?
Let's not be putting that kind of thoughts in people's heads, because I like being rewarded.
Well, I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. We live in such a generation of entitled crybabies that it just made me really sad, because I thought, here's a real good positive thing. This person did a solid to Blizzard and gave them the source code. He could have done anything with it. He could have sold it.
What is it, or what?
It's their source code for the game.
Pretend you're talking to Jimma Banks here, though. What's the source code?
I'm gonna enroll Jimma in the Center for Kids Who Can't Read Good.
Yeah, right.
It needs to be at least 5 times bigger.
It's very valuable. Yes.
Yes, it's their entire map for StarCraft. It's
Oh, wow.
all of their code.
Okay.
So anybody could take this and make the game, essentially.
Oh, wow.
So, yes, it was very valuable. Yes, it's great that they rewarded him. I'm really glad that they did. I think the best thing that they could have done was flown him all expenses paid to BlizzCon. Yeah. I would love all expenses paid to BlizzCon because it's expensive, guys.
So, I never made a game, but obviously they had multiple versions of the source code, obviously.
Right. I'm sure there's backups and backups.
Well, so there was just a random build of StarCraft on the CD or something?
Yeah, it was probably, it's quite old. It's a CD, for fuck's sake. Do people even use those anymore?
Well, that end is for StarCraft. That's 90s.
And it's their copy of it's the actual source code.
He could have easily sold that for way more cash than the trip. I think that's where people are so greedy, and it's nice to see nice people get rewarded for just, hey.
And this guy did this with no other thought process in mind outside of, these are game makers of things that I love. I want to make sure they get what's theirs. And to me, that's why I'm glad he got rewarded. Is he entitled to a reward? No, because he's a normal human who did a stand-up citizen thing. If you do things like that with the idea of a reward in mind, you're part of the problem with this generation. And I hate I hate to be negative, guys. I've been super positive Nancy for the last couple weeks, and I haven't ranted about many things. So I hate to be that girl again. But guys, I need to know if anybody else shares this frustration. That's like,
I would just.
This guy got all expenses paid. Hotel, flight. He's on the eastern side of the country, so he's not close to West Coast. He's getting all expenses paid, and I'm sure he'll get to probably meet. He's probably going to get a tour. I'm sure that it's not just going to stop there. They're probably going to pay a lot of fan service to him, which I think is great because he deserves it. Really.
I mean, if he gets to bunk up with Metzen, it's a win-win right there.
I'm kind of trying to imagine that, but it's creeping me out, so I'm going to have to stop.
So you're saying you're being a positive Paula?
I'm a positive Polly, but like I've been super positive. I haven't ranted about many things, so I feel like I've been entitled to just that one little mini rant.
Yeah.
And I don't think Blizzard was being cheap. I think they gave him something that's priceless because BlizzCon, especially at this point where the tickets are sold out, it's priceless.
Well, yeah.
Hold up a second. If they're being cheap, are they? The hotel, is it at the Hilton?
Well, I don't know about that. Knowing them, though, probably because Blizzard, that's where all the Blizzard employees stay. So
I'm sure it'll be a nice
That'd
stay,
be funny.
and I'm sure he'll get maybe even some sort of access. Maybe he'll just be regular admission, but
no, I'm sure they'll give him, really good access. He'll probably get to meet some of the people at Blizzard. They'll probably give him a tour. I'm sure they're going to take care of him, but just the expenses alone and paying for that, like they're making this guy's dream come true, which is pretty awesome because he can't go to BlizzCon because he can't afford it. So
yeah, good.
I just think it's a really great thing. And really faith in humanity restored for him because he probably could have got a great deal of money for that. And nobody would have been the wiser. Nobody would have ever known. He could have completely just went into the dark. I'm not saying I would have, but I mean, there are people that would. So
would you have? This is that $100 question you asked, I think, a few months ago.
I'm pretty sure it's like $1,000.
It's one of those things where because I am who I am, my goal in life is to preserve this universe that we live in, right? And to keep it as pure and unified as humanly possible. And I think no amount of money.
Are we talking about the same bell?
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, I like money, guys. You know why I like money? I like money because I like tacos, and tacos cost money. That shit ain't free. Apparently, tacos don't grow on a bush or a tree. I tried.
I like watching movies at the Cine One, so...
Don't say Cine One to me again. No, I would not. Because I care about it.
Good.
I would love to say it's because I'm a solid human being, but the reality is it's because I care about it. I care.
If it was something that we didn't care about, maybe, honestly.
They also had their Q1 2017 call. Now, 90% of this call is them just patting each other on the back and talking about all the good things. But the gist of this call is they made money. When I was going through last week and I was just kind of like reading and getting myself acquainted, like the basis for the call is they're making money. And part of that is the content. They talked about how successful they've been with content all the way around, right? Content being sprinkled in all their games versus trying to drone out these expansions. They're focusing on these content patches, which is super successful. Now, if you guys have paid attention to when the when the patches are happening in a 3-month period, which goes inside with quarterly goals here. Because the thing to understand about Blizzard is they're Activision. They answer to shareholders. This is a publicly traded company. They answer to people who have stock in this. They answer to these men in suits and these women in suits. And although they're game makers and that's what they do, these guys that are about their money, they're a business. So they did talk about how fruitful that's been for them as a company, changing their model from just trying to get new expansions and new big things out, and instead just kind of focusing on just keeping a steady content flow so that there isn't any lag going on in any of the games. Like it's they're constantly adding heroes. They're constantly adding stuff to Hearthstone. I think we're like 3 expansions in now. I think it was Ungoro Crater. And then right before then we had Karazhan. So they're doing really good things there. Overwatch, they're producing good heroes. A little bit slower than the other games, but there's a lot to go into it when it comes to Overwatch for balance. So
with Overwatch, the heroes isn't really, or the champions isn't really a key thing because they already make so much revenue off that.
And there's a balance there, and each character that they're introducing, they introduce it in a very lore-specific manner. Not lore in the sense we're used to, but story-specific. So each character is a real robust story. Like, who was the latest one? The one they unveiled it.
Some lady, BlizzCon, but the crowd went nuts.
Purple hair, I can't think of her name.
I'm sorry, are we talking about...
No, but that's part of her story and the way that they just started developing her story, where they did it, they did it little by little, where there was like that glitch, and it's things like that keep people interested, and basically keep them coming back. So with World of Warcraft, the overall performance, of course, is higher than the previous expansion, which is great because
obviously,
I know.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot.
Put it lightly.
And I got to be honest, it was really weird to see Candy Crush's numbers on this quarterly call report.
Oh, that's how'd they do?
Because I forget. I mean, they're.
Did they buy it?
So, just to give you guys some numbers, the revenue for King, which is who they purchased, $447 million. Blizzard themselves is $441 million, and then Activision is $215 million. So, whatever random stuff from Activision, which is like Call of Duty, and then the King partnership. But yeah,
there's a pet rescue. Pets need to be rescued.
They grew their revenue by 25%, which for a company. That is definitely, any kind of growth there is for sure going to be something that's important. And I think that just goes to show that these guys took a beating for, 2 expansions. And they bounced back, but they didn't just bounce back in World of Warcraft, they bounced back in other things. I also didn't know that Activision owned Destiny, which is kind of new. That was news to me.
It's because no one plays it.
I mean, I have a couple friends that kind of do, but
I do as well.
I don't. It's not really my get down, guys. That kind of stuff's just not for me.
Murky plays Ungaro Island quite a bit.
He would. What is that?
That's what we call Mark. It doesn't matter right now. Anyways.
What does that even mean?
Overwatch isn't even a year old. That's crazy. I just realized that.
It's not?
Oh, right now we're heading towards Overwatch's launch anniversary later this month.
Oh. And remember, that was like their beta too, wasn't it? Or no, launch date,
I don't really know.
Blizzard made a lot of money. Is what we're saying.
They're solid and they're working, towards good things. And they're doing 7.2.5 right now. And then we do know that when we go to Argus, we're going to be seeing another raid. So they're developing that content as well. That's going to be interesting to see we're already looking forward to Tomb of Sargeras, which we were told 2nd or 3rd week of June. But I just think we're headed down a really good path. And it's exciting because I don't know where it's time for an expansion announcement, but I don't know that I don't know. I guess by then.
Save it for BlizzCon, or
I'm sure. Although somebody told me that the Gamescom in Germany was going to be where they announced it. I find a hard time believing that Blizzard would waste their game news.
But didn't they do
They've done it before.
Yeah,
I would be like, for a BlizzCon goer, that would be really sad for me.
Right.
I mean, I guess
if they gave me, I'd rather have them flesh out the announcement and then have us get all the information at BlizzCon.
I would just rather it be both. But I did hear that it was not going to be at BlizzCon; that it was going to be at the Germany's Gamescom is going to be where the World of Warcraft expansion was announced, which I think might be in September? ?
You also have to remember EU's a big chunk of.
True.
Blizzard.
So I mean, you would think Blizzard would save it for.
Well, remember they did
con.
it. They announced it before BlizzCon, and then they had like some special trailers for Legion, and I remember the crowd going nuts. I think that was the first BlizzCon I went to. Yeah, it would have been, obviously.
But it's exciting. Hopefully, if there is an expansion announcement, which I think we can agree that it'd be about that time, not to do the expansion, just to at least announce and start prepping us, right? Because where we're going once we get to Argus, we don't really know. We don't know what that raid looks like. We don't really know what that content looks like. So we don't even know how long we'll be in that content. Argus might be enough content for the next 8 or 9 months, you know.
Well, it looks like they're changing their game plan again. Well, Morhaime even talks about it in this report, where it's a new type of pipeline where they're not necessarily basing it on full game launches,
right,
and doing like the kind of like the mini, almost like a mini expansion with all these up.
And we don't know what that looks like for November's announcements as far as World of Warcraft's concerned. I have no idea. Now, it's difficult for me to get information from my Blizzard people about that, because that's the kind of thing they just don't tell anybody. And even though I tell them off the record, they don't listen to me and they don't give two shits. So that's just the kind of stuff that even if I did know, I couldn't tell anybody anyway. So it doesn't serve me any purpose. I like to be like everybody else and find out and be shocked and surprised, because there have been times when surprises have been ruined for me, and I was really sad because I didn't like having the inside information.
Oh, I do remember being somewhat disappointed. I think you guys were on board too, where we did that Blizzard opening intro and they showed all the games and there was nothing about Warcraft, and I was just like, oh.
Oh, and
like they showed that character from Overwatch that you were talking about, and we're waiting.
Sombra was her name.
I was like, damn.
Bingo bongo.
But I think, you know, what I'm excited because we don't really know what Argus looks like as far as what we're going to be doing and what the goal is going to be there. You theory crafters and lore masters out there probably have a better idea, you know, than I do. And I don't really want to go searching for answers necessarily right now, because I'm pretty happy with what we're doing now. You know, I'm not necessarily ready. Tomb of Sargeras is going to be a really nice raid. So, you know.
Is there visuals yet?
Oh, yeah, it's been in PTR for testing. They opened up LFR last weekend, which I was not active in gaming whatsoever, so I kind of missed out on that. But it's going to be pretty good, and we're, you know, a month away, essentially. Well, a month and a half, probably, which is fine. You guys still have to do Breaching the Tomb. I'm halfway through. There's like 30 quest chains for Breaching the Tomb. So, you know, not terrible. So let's talk about, there's just a couple things for 7.2.5. Not a whole lot this week. For those of you who helped me last week and explained the Q&A for me, I really appreciate it. I rewatched the episode today. Now, full disclosure, guys, I was on a lot of medication last week. I don't even remember the episode. So if you're listening or watching and you're thinking, wow, Belle was really dumb last week, she didn't even know what was going on in the Q&A. You're absolutely right, guys. I was severely medicated from my throat infection, and I don't even remember the show. I had to rewatch and even laughed at some stuff because I didn't remember doing the show at all. I was in a really bad way last week. So
how's Timmy?
Timmy... It's tiny.
Yeah.
It's got just a little nubbin right there.
It's no longer Timmy. He's just tiny.
I tried to eat a burger the other day and I had to squish it because I still don't have full range of motion for my mouth. But it's definitely a lot better. But yeah, good. I watched the episode and was like, I don't even remember talking. I have no memory of last week's episode. And I apologize because it's not like me to not be prepared for a show and to not come with my A game. That was just awful. So we could just scratch that out, but I'm going to make up for it. So the Great Nomergon run, Blizzard, and I'm so happy about this, for 7.2.5, the annual Running of the Gnomes, which that's Dravi. Dravi's done the Running of the Gnomes, I want to say, for like... I think this was the 6th or 7th year. They do the Running of the Gnomes for for charity. Blizzard is putting that as a micro holiday in game, and
nice, they should.
Basically players are going to race from Nomergon to Booty Bay and go through. I just really like saying Booty Bay, to be honest. But how amazing, they reached out to Dravi to make sure it was okay that they did that. But here's somebody who started a little tiny thing trying to do something for charity. Pink-haired gnomes running from one place to the other, and it's now going to be in-game forever.
I had the idea first, Sam.
Is that like the same time you said you had the idea for the iPod before Apple introduced it?
No, I had the Guild Naked Gnome Race.
Oh, naked? I had to do the image for that. And when you use the model viewer... and you have naked characters with the WoW model viewer, there's no nipples. So I had to draw nipples onto the gnome, and they were not even.
No, it was bad time.
Yeah, they were not even. But the model viewer is really weird. They're not, there's no nipples and there's no,
Anyways.
It was fun. That's a little sidebar to what it's like to be me and a guild master of people who want to have naked gnome races. But I thought that was really cool, and I, for one, am really happy that Blizzard acknowledges things like that, and I think that that's important that Blizzard does that. So lots of Mythic Keystone changes are coming our way for 7.2. They're getting rid of the depletion mechanic. Basically, they said we originally imagined that getting a hold of a keystone would be more of a barrier than it is, but in reality, there are so many players participating that it's generally not too difficult to find someone with a keystone you'd like to run. In that environment, depleting a keystone is more of an annoyance than anything else, especially when it happens for reasons outside of your control, such as player disconnecting. I love that they are removing that, and let me tell you why. There have been many times in the last couple months where it has been a struggle for me to even get out of bed, let alone get on the computer because of my own personal life stuff. So I've had keystones in my bag that depleted, and I was really sad about that because it was a really good keystone and I just couldn't do it. I love that, number one, Blizzard's acknowledging that sometimes people can't get it done, and acknowledging that if servers are an issue, a whole plethora of stuff, I think that that's great that they're kind of removing that. And they're right, the keystones are really not difficult to come by. You might as well just make it where they don't deplete. It was an interesting mechanic, that it would deplete because it was a sense of urgency for players, right? Keystone level 7 Halls of Valor. Just kidding, Rem. We're not doing that. But what do you two think about this no more depleting of the keystones in the new patch?
I like it. I thought Remedies was going to say something.
I was just waiting for you.
Do you like it?
It's good and bad. It's a double-edged sword.
What's the bad part of it?
Well, they're nerfing the amount of stuff that drops for the Mythic Plus.
That's bad. Oh, yeah, okay.
You froze there for a second.
I did?
Yeah.
I just wanted to see if you would notice that I was sitting still. So here's what they're going to do. They're going to try to do the following instead. Completing the run on time will have the same results it currently does for 7.2. You'll get a new keystone for a random dungeon that's 1 to 3 levels higher than the one you just completed. And this is based on how quickly you finish, of course. If you complete the dungeon but don't make the timer, you'll get a keystone for a random dungeon that's 1 level lower than the one you just had. Makes sense, right? I think that's a perfect balance. If you don't complete the dungeon at all, you have a keystone for the same dungeon that's 1 level lower than the one you just used. So...
And then if you get the lower one and then you complete that one within time, you should get one higher.
A couple of levels higher.
Good.
Which I think that's great. And then with that in mind, here's the changes that they're going to be testing. You no longer receive additional chests at the end of a run for completing it quickly. When you finish a Mythic Plus dungeon, the chest at the end will contain 2 items and an appropriate amount of artifact power. So instead of multiple chests, you're getting multiple items out of that chest, which makes sense. When you finish a Mythic dungeon, a Mythic Plus dungeon, the chest at the end... Oh, I already said that. Sorry, guys, just kidding. If you beat the timer, regardless of how quickly, there will be a 3rd item in the chest. So same concept, just...
Less clickies.
Less things to click. Keystones can still upgrade by 2 or 3 steps so you can quickly get to the difficult level appropriate for you. I think this is great. Once the Tomb of Sargeras raid is available on Mythic difficulty, we'll also increase the maximum rewards from Mythic Keystone runs to level 15. I think that this is a really good problem solving to a problem we didn't know we had, right? This is one of those moments where Blizzard completely impresses me because there was a problem that I don't know necessarily other people would say was a huge issue, but yet they've seen, through player suggestions in the forums and working stuff through that, the depletion thing kind of sucks, but, here you can use it and keep it. For someone like me who at times stuff happens, I'm sure stuff happens with you guys, and when things are beyond our control, such as the game crashing or, like the server was down today for like an hour, those things you don't have to be concerned with that. And it's really great to not have to be bound by that weekly thing, especially with having a busy schedule. So I like these changes personally.
I could be wrong, but I think it really does help out the individual player more because, like, you're at the mercy of putting a group together a lot of the times, and that group could blow your keystone, and you're kind of SOL sometimes. So
I agree as well. So it gives a little bit of room for growth and error when it comes to playing with other people that are it sucks playing with other people.
what are you drinking? Nice. Why do you call it sweet iced teas? We just call that iced tea in Canada. Why you got to make it sweet?
Because sweet tea is delicious.
Because
We just call
America.
it America. Nice segue.
Also, because we have to have mini gallon jugs, because why not get a glass?
Right? No, why? You got to wash them after then.
It's actually Walmart brand tea. It's the market side tea. It's my favorite sweet tea.
She's going hard tonight, folks.
I know. There's no alcohol in there, sadly, guys. It's just not that fun. So I think that this is really great. Yeah. Those changes are great. Not a whole lot of other news outside of they're doing class balancing. Major druid changes are happening. Some DK changes. They're doing a lot of changes. There's no point in me telling you about them today. The reason there's no point in me telling you about them today is because tomorrow they'll be different. So the only thing we could do is just keep on keeping on, and I'll keep watching. I'll go into PTR this week and see what's what in there. Maybe check out this Running of the Gnomes micro holiday, which seems to be quite fun. I like that.
We've got so much experience with nipples, right? So you might as well go check it out.
I don't want to say that I'm like the queen of nipples, but like I would almost give myself, that title.
Is it cold in here?
That's so weird that you would say that. Super awkward. We just took a turn for the worst, guys, and I don't know, like...
Bounce back?
We took a turn. So before we get into the segments, guys, I want to tell you that we are 1970 away from completing our funding goal for DitchCon. If you have been one of the ones that have backed, several of you gave us $10, and I know it was the ones that are listening that gave $10 because Jimma said if everyone gave $10. I want to thank each and every one of you, from those who gave 10 to those who gave 700 to those who gave 300. Every dollar counts. If you are listening and or watching, they don't take the money until June 12th. So if you want to get on there and throw us some money, the link will be somewhere here. It'll also be in the description. If you're watching this on iTunes, just go to Kickstarter.com and search DitchCon and you will find it. But we have 30 days to fund our goal, and we need 1970 still. But we're doing really good. We're at a really good pace. I'm confident that we're going to fund. I'm just like a right now type of gal. If you throw $10, $20, throw $100, whatever, get some cool swag. Be a $65, a $50 backer, dude. Get the PWNCAST car decal sticker thing that Rem's.
That does sound cool.
Rem's idea. Rem's idea. But get some stuff. Our artist, he's finished with Kill Jaden. He's finished with Gul'dan. He's working on Maiev right now, and then he'll be doing Illidan. So here in about another 2 weeks, the artist stuff should be completely done. So I'll be able to show people that are backing like what the two scenes look like, and then when the Kickstarter closes, everybody can pick their rewards. But guys, make DitchCon happen. If you're not going to California, that's okay. If you live in another country and I can't ship to you, give us money anyway because you love us and because you want to support us. You don't have to get something just to give, but giving is better than receiving, unless you're us who needs to receive right now.
Should we, since Rem's the rookie, not a PWNCAST rookie because that's disrespectful because he's been doing so much for PWNCAST for a long time, but for the show, should we pretty him all up for a stream or something? Get them all looking?
I do. I'm going to get back to streaming also. I have not been able to stream, guys. I can barely even get on my computer these days with personal life stuff. But this week, I've kind of fixed a little bit of my personal life stuff, so stuff's getting a little bit better. But I am going to be streaming as well. I'm also looking to fill some of the stream spots because we lost Softy, who is no longer playing WoW, but is still playing WoW on his Twitter. So I don't really know what the story is with that. Softy, bruh, hello? Are you playing WoW? Did you lie when you transferred your tune and said you weren't playing anything anymore? Like, I ain't trying to call you out, bro, but I'm kind of calling you out because I'm super confused. I thought you weren't playing WoW, and then all of a sudden, all over your Twitter, you're playing WoW. So I'm just messing with you, Softy. You're listening right now, and you're like, wow, she totally threw shade. Yeah, I threw shade. Just kidding.
But I think a lot of people can relate like you. Like an expansion's out for 2 years, and there's so much that happens in your life in 2 years. So you're not.
I don't ever quit playing WoW.
What's that?
I don't ever quit playing WoW.
I'm not saying quit. I'm just saying like you
I don't
said,
ever say I'm giving up the
people
game
understand.
ever for good, ever.
I don't think you would.
And then 5 minutes later, I see you on Twitter posting about how you're on your tune.
No, yeah.
He's laughing. I know he's watching right now, and he is laughing his ass off because he knows that I am the expert shade thrower, and I will throw shade because that's how I do. But yeah, we are. I think Murky's streaming Tuesday. I'm probably going to give him another stream day, and I'm probably going to give Rem another stream day if he can swing it with work. I know work's been kind of crappy, and then Gemma can stream Thursdays and Fridays.
Sure, you got the whole week filled right up, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have to get it. These guys have been streaming, but I have not. I haven't even showered.
Yeah, we'll definitely be.
I went 3 days without showering, guys, and I'm not even ashamed.
Don't
I'm not even
admit
ashamed.
that.
I don't even give a shit. I'm not even ashamed. I
Let
have no shame. I have no shame.
Timmy Kipper from the shower.
So, guys, with that being said, I know that our pet battle master has some good something to talk about, right?
Something. I don't have any breaking news. Just because there's not, we're obviously excited for the content and the new pet battle dungeons. I mean, I'm really excited for that. I know a lot of people that aren't pet battling right now don't care, but again, it's very cool that they're adding those things. May 16th, another pet battle bonus event. Belle was just talking about streaming. I will pick a day, possibly 2, to stream to again show a typical life in my life. Typical day in the life of a pet battle bonus event for Gemma Banks. So I did have a lot of fun. That's usually a lot of power leveling pets against trainers, sometimes PvP, not just with pet battles, but regular PvP, but definitely PvP pet battles and power leveling pets. So get ready for that. I did start working on getting my other horde pet. You got the Alliance Enthusiast for maxing out your 50 honor traits, and then I want my Horde Fanatic. They're very similar. They look the same. They actually have a lot of the same abilities as well, but they have your respected factions banner, right? Your Horde or Alliance banner, and it's very cool to have running around with you. So all you have to do is get to level 50. Now that they've nerfed the honor, it's actually a little bit quicker, obviously. So if you are a pet collector and you hate pet battles, try to find some with flags that you can kind of AFK at the flag a little bit or defend the flag and not get blown up. So I'll be excited when I finally have my Horde Fanatic and power level that up to use. Both of them I mentioned had similar abilities, like the Banhammer, the Jar of Smelly Liquid, Burp, and both a dodge, right? Dodge is very effective. But those first 3 that I mentioned are very unique. Banhammer, which is kind of hilarious. I don't know what the Jar of Smelly Liquid is. But yeah, those are 2 very good.
Oh, you don't know what the Jar of Smelly Liquid is? You're a boy. Come on.
You're right. I failed it. Burp. And then we have random 5 dragons that you can add to your collection. They are mostly found in the wild. The Nexus Whelpling, the Emerald Proto-Whelp, the Nether Fairy Dragon, the Spawn of Onyxia, and a Moth. Oh, you weren't listening, right? Yeah, Moth is not a dragon. So
I was about to say a moth.
Remedies listens. He pays attention to detail. So a Moth is not a dragon. Good job, Rem.
Does it look like a dragon then, though?
Pardon?
Or are you just testing us?
I was testing you. You passed, Rem. Bella, you failed. So I'll leave. All 3 of those pets they're very good. They're very helpful for different reasons. I know they're all Dragonkin pets. Again, the Nexus Whelpling, the Emerald Proto-Whelp, the Nether Fairy Dragon, the Spawn of Onyxia, and the Dream Whelpling can all be gotten in the wild. The Dream Whelpling is at the end of the Emerald Nightmare, actually, but the rest are just in the actual wild. So those are some very helpful pets. Again, I'll go to the comments and I'll write those in case some of you are interested in beefing up your pet collection. I do get a lot of questions of what pets should I add to my collection. Those, at least the top 3 that I mentioned, are definitely a must in your collection for multiple reasons. So no news, lack of news in the pet battle world, but it doesn't mean there's not a lot of excitement. And enjoy your pet battle bonus event on May 16th.
Does anybody ever wonder, what each of us is thinking during each other's segments? Whenever I'm talking during my segment, I always I'll catch myself rewatching the show and I'll wonder, what is Jimma thinking? Like some of the faces he makes, I wonder what he's thinking. And then when Rem's doing lore, like I'll just sit and like try to remember what I was thinking about. Am I the only one that thinks like that? No.
I don't know if
I already
it's
know
the
what you
same.
guys think about during other segments.
No, you don't.
Tacos. And Gemma thinks about.
Don't say it. I'll save them, Belle. Honestly, you know what I used to do, and I still do, but not the same? I would start thinking what you guys are thinking while I'm starting my segment. So I'm talking and thinking about you guys, and it's so stupid because it throws you off, and it's definitely... I still do it. I still, like, if you're getting or coughing or you're muted, I'll be trying to look at you through my peripherals while I'm reading whatever. And it's
I was
annoying.
thinking two things. One, I was having a conversation with Lycan, who knew we were recording because he knows the times we record, because obviously.
does.
And he was like, let me love you. I'm trying to love you. And he's like blowing up my Facebook because I'm like, it's show day. We're recording. And he's like, let me love you. I'm important. So I was chatting with him, and then I was thinking about my hair, which is kind of funny because it's
That's
a total
hilarious.
girl comment, right? I'm going to be blonde again by next week, guys. I'm just unsatisfied with my life. I can't.
What's starting to
Such
show
a
up,
girl.
right? What's starting to show up in my feed is episodes from a year ago, right? So funny that you mentioned Lycan and hair. He had that stupid wig on that he said was his
Oh,
grandma's
I
wig.
love him.
I
What a
thought
nerd.
it was so funny.
Genuine? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was
What
funny.
a nerd.
Definitely a nerd.
Rem, how goeth the Lorith? I kind of backed myself into a corner
I think you
with
did
that,
good there. More
with
of
that
the-
TH.
No.
Not
It
C.
isn't goodeth.
It isn't goodeth.
So, with all the stuff and the shit tornado that's going down with the Burning Legion and the possible fall of Stormwind, maybe. Theory. I was going to read about when Stormwind fell before from Volume 2.
So is this like Rem's masterpiece theater?
This is story time in the corner with Pizzazz.
Zing.
Nobody puts baby in the corner.
No one puts baby in the corner. That's right.
I'm going to awkwardly just mute now and let you do your thing. I'm going to need you to do voices, okay?
Like what kind of voices? Like
Like
voices or
Pee Wee Herman voices. Whatever strikes your fancy.
He was gonna do it. He was gonna do like a
You guys couldn't hear me, those of you listening or watching at home, because I had it muted, but I did snort because it was really funny. I've been in a mood today, guys. My troll game has been on point today. I have made
You
two.
guys were going at it.
I made two people mad in the span of 20 minutes. It was fucking amazing.
plenty of salt today.
Okay, I'm gonna let you do you, but I do need some type of voices. If it's like, set the mood.
The first. Okay. So there's two sieges on Stormwind by the Orcish Horde. Told by Rem. So the first siege of Stormwind. So this is back when the Orcish Horde came through the Dark Portal and they took over all the surrounding lands. Westfall was under control of the Horde. Duskwood, Red Ridge Mountains was all pretty much under control of the Horde. So this was when War Chief Blackhand was leading the Horde. And so I'm going to think of a voice. I'm not good at English accents. So Brightwood Westfall at the Red Ridge Mountains were now under Horde control. The time to strike at Stormwind City had come. War Chief Blackhand scoffed when Gul'dan told him his mission to Blackrock Mountain was a failure. He had expected nothing less. He was prepared to crush Stormwind City without the help of borrowed elemental powers. Thousands of Horde soldiers flooded through Element Forest and established siege lines outside Stormwind City. They encircled the stronghold, cutting off all access except for the sea. Blackhand ordered Kilrog and Cho'Gall to lead the Bleeding Hollow and Twilight's Hammer clans in an assault against Stormwind. To soften the city's defenses, the Horde bombarded the walls with siege engines. Through the night at dawn, Kilrog and Cho'Gall launched their attack. Orcs charged the battlements, while warlocks engulfed Stormwind soldiers and fell fire. The losses among the city's defenders were staggering. It seemed to Blackhand that Stormwind would fall by midday. No one was more astonished than him to hear cries of an attack in the Horde's rear lines. Lothar had led the lion's share of Stormwind's knights around the Horde by sea and was now leading a charge through Elwyn Forest. The orcs in the rear guard were caught utterly by surprise, and the knights carved a massive gash into the lines. The Horde attack soon collapsed. The Bleeding Hollow and the Twilight's Hammer broke off their aggression and tried to push against the knights. Stormwind's enormous gates opened up, and soldiers poured out of the city in a counterattack, acting as a hammer to Lothar's anvil.
You know, that was funny how you said anvil there, eh?
The orcs had no way to fight off the two-pronged assault. They could only run. It was the biggest disaster the Horde had ever suffered. The defeat infuriated Blackhand. He barely restrained himself from executing Kilrog and Cho'Gall, but only because he suspected their clan members would revolt. The Horde withdrew to its holdings in Redridge to draw up a new plan of conquest. So pretty much the first siege was a success for Stormwind, and this kind of plays into the fact that Blackhand is pretty arrogant in his abilities and pretty much fails utterly. So in between all this, we have this is when Garona and Lothar and whatchamacallit we're at the tower. So after the first siege, King Lane Lothar went to Karazhan to take care of business. So in between the first siege and the second siege was I believe Doomhammer became the new war chief, and this siege was a little bit more successful. So War Chief Doomhammer would take no chances with a second attack on Stormwind City. He unleashed the full might of the Horde against the stronghold. He had briefly considered calling on the war songs of Shadowhand and all the other clans that were still on Draenor to reinforce them, but there was no time. Every day that passed was another day that Stormwind had to regroup. So this is back when all the clans were still coming through the Dark Portal, and there was not all of them were still there. So Warsong is actually Garrosh Hellscream's Garrosh and Gromash's clan. The Shattered Hand is Kargath Bladefist. I completely brain farted on his name. But they're still back on Draenor at this point, and so the battle commences. Both sides knew that this day would decide the fate of Stormwind. There would be no quarter, no mercy, no retreat. The Horde breached the city's walls and stormed into the streets, but Stormwind's defenders held them at bay, at least for a time. King Lane was convening with his military commanders in Stormwind's keep when he received word that Garona had arrived from Karazhan. Lothar and Khadgar were still gone, and the king was worried about their fate. Eager to learn what had happened, Lane allowed Garona into his presence. She was going to tell him about the battle with Medivh before she could something snapped in her mind. So, pause. This is a lot different from the movie. This is the part where they completely changed the time, the outcome of everything, because they have Garona killing Lane on Draenor to save herself because Lane made her do it.
A different story?
Yeah, that's the major plot change in that because Garona is supposed to be mind controlled by Gul'dan, and so that's why she kills Lane, is because she's being controlled by Gul'dan to kill him. Whereas in the movie, it ends up a lot different, as you could see. So she had resisted Gul'dan's order to kill King Lane before, but her encounter with the Guardian had scrambled her thoughts. The line between friend and foe blurred. Her willpower faltered. The Warlock's old command to kill the king flared bright in her mind. Deep down, she had no wish to slay Lane, a stranger who had welcomed her into his kingdom, who had treated her with more respect in recent months than the orcs had shown her in a lifetime. So this is her willpower failing because, as it says, she was in an altercation with the Guardian, with Lothar and Khadgar. So, with streaming down her face, she plunged a dagger into Lane's heart. The young Prince Varian witnessed the murder. His father's assassination deeply impacted the boy, I would assume so, and it would forever taint his perception of the orcs. He would view them as deceitful and murderous people. In the confusion that followed, Garona escaped the keep, vanishing into the chaos of battle. Word of the king's death spread quickly, and morale faltered. Fighting engulfed nearly every corner of Stormwind. The horde's continuing barrage set fire to the city. That was when Lothar and Khadgar returned from Karazhan. They saw the chaos, and when they learned their king was dead, Lothar took command of the remaining forces. There was nothing left to be done for the city. He could only save as many people as he could. So this is when he orders a mass evacuation, and pretty much Stormwind gets pillaged. And this is the end of the chapter, but this is when Lothar takes his remaining Stormwind people and he goes up north to Lordaeron and joins up with the Alliance up there. And that's
ta-da! Round of applause.
The original voice was quite scary.
I don't know what it was.
I mean, I was intrigued 100%. You had me at,
Can
Hello?
you make any voice suggestions, Belle?
no. I would never presume to. I don't even know what the
I felt
fuck
like
just
that
happened.
Batman skit where he tries to find his voice.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's so good.
Where's Rachel?
Oh my god.
Hello, Governor. Where the jug's going?
I think that was lovely.
I do as well.
I think it was lovely. I like it to be read to me. I don't have that one yet. So that's volume 2. I haven't got it yet because priorities, even though it should be a
What
priority.
did you do with the last one? Did you read it?
I read it and it's up here on
You
my...
did read it? Okay.
Yeah, it's on my...
Yeah, she read the cover and then set it up on the
Well, no, she read it. I believe her. I don't think she'd...
That's... I'm
lie
still
to the
unpacking
people.
the nerd boxes, but that's... You know. I'm waiting for my loot crate because it's Guardians of the Galaxy this month. And Dark got... he gets the Marvel box. So his was Guardians of the Galaxy. And the only crappy part is I got a great shirt. But it's too big. So it's
What
like,
did you make him give you from his crate?
I gave him my Batman stuff for my loot crate. So we wasn't even... You know.
What else was in...
I can't tell
Is there
you
more?
because then
I
I'd
didn't
have
know
to
there
tell
was
you.
a secret.
There is a secret.
A secret confession?
No, I don't do those anymore. It ended.
Oh.
It ended badly, guys. So, guys, listen. I'm a loser and I don't have a segment. Here's why I don't have a segment, because I didn't game this week. But I will have a segment next week, and it'll be a glorious segment, guys, and it'll be filled with all the things that you're used to from me. But yeah, I've just getting back into this. I log in today. I logged in yesterday for the first time in a week. I log in today and the PDQ was broke. The podcast website was broke. Everything was freaking broke. And I'm like, this is what happens when I take time off for personal stuff. Everything is broken. So I had to fix all those things. So if some of you listen on the website, it's fixed now.
It happens.
Yeah, I don't know why everything was just broken. And then I did stuff in game. I did guild things, but we do have some good things for the guild. The guilds, I think they're clearing mythic now for Nighthold, which is nice. We're not a mythic guild by any means, but they're doing it.
Proved you wrong.
Well, it was not necessarily proving me wrong. I mean, we're not a mythic guild still, but they're.
It's good that they're attempting some bosses.
I think they've cleared 2, maybe, which is, it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but for writers, it's. And Aj is doing a really good thing where what we're doing is we're rotating, because we have 30 raiders, so every other week we're rotating to make sure, because you can only have 20 people for the mythic run. So we're making it where instead of people feeling bad that they can't do the mythic runs, we're alternating. So I think I think it's a good. Some people, I was told, were complaining about it. If one of you is listening and we're complaining about it, guys, just be happy that we're not booting you out for shitty DPS. So just be happy that we've come with that, little kind of thing. But we are fully on the BlizzCon train, plotting and planning. Once again, don't forget to give me your money for the Kickstarter. If you've already backed, thank you. I appreciate it. It'll be here somewhere. There'll be a link maybe right up here. At the end, there'll be a link in the end credits and then in the description. Some of you guys have emailed. I haven't had a chance to pull those emails yet. Some of you emailed a few weeks ago also. I have not ignored you. Real life happened, and that's taken a lot out of me, guys. So, yeah, I'm back now officially.
Guess who's back?
Oh,
so next week I'll respond to emails and be back on the good old horse. Also, I want to do a shout out to Trevor. So Trevor commented a few weeks ago about how he would back our Patreon, because we have a Patreon, and he would totally pledge to be a patron if they got rid of me. So I said, being my lovely self, said, done. I quit. Psych, just kidding. I own the show. I'm not going anywhere. But I don't respond the way I used to any kind of negative comments, right? Because negative comments are still good. They help you be a better person. They help you see things that you need to see. They can help kind of just make sure that you're doing what you need to do for the show as a whole. So I welcome those comments. They don't bother me I would take everything personal in the very beginning. And I was very upset when somebody was mean to me on YouTube. And now I'm going to make you love me. That's just is what it is. So Trevor commented on last week's episode and said, I apologize for what I said a couple weeks ago.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did. He said, I apologize. Keep up the good work. I watch it. I just want to make a shout out to him because I love that he still watches. He doesn't like me, and that's totally okay. Not everybody is going to like me. I am not everybody's cup of tea.
Are you giving him a shout out so he likes you?
No. I'm giving him a shout out because I loved that he still watches. And that he apologized, which he didn't have to. You are allowed to dislike me, Trevor. That is totally A-okay. It's really funny because whenever somebody's name's Trevor, I always think of that.
Play fucking Oasis.
That YouTube thing where the British guy gets his dad a Amazon Echo or Alexa, and he keeps calling it Trevor. But this is one of those times where my response to him was like, thank you. It's okay. Not everybody's going to love me, and that's totally fine. I don't even love me sometimes, guys. There's times when I feel myself out of control and I'm looking outside myself at myself and I could see it happening and it's like a train wreck and I can't stop it. It happens at least once a week with my husband. Like I feel myself being a bitch to him and I don't know why.
Keep on going.
And I know he just wants to punch me in the face and I'm still going and I'm relentless. And I know that he just literally just wants to clothesline me. And I can feel myself, but I'm already committed at that point, right? You just have to keep going because
no quitter.
Yeah, you're already committed to what you're doing. So but I just wanted to say that I think that this is one of those moments that proves he doesn't have to like me to like you guys and to love what we do here. And I appreciate that people that I'm bossy, I have a big mouth, I talk a lot, I'm rude as fuck. I mean, there's a laundry list of things that are wrong with me. However, the caveat to that is I don't know that I have any good qualities to list, but that's okay. I don't need to. But I wanted to shout that out because that made me feel good that he still watches even though he doesn't like me. And I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. That's good things, guys. Good things.
Shout out to everyone listening too. Again, I do forget sometimes so many people listen on iTunes, right? I get so stuck in the YouTube
That's
world.
where the bulk of our YouTube does not reflect our 30,000 downloads a month on iTunes. So it's average 5 to 6K per episode. is what the downloads are. So there's definitely those of you listening, or maybe it's people that just
there's some
play us to-
influential people that listen. Like I don't know too many of them. They're not commenting, but I remember like a Simri Jones who's pretty big in the pet battle world left a comment because I randomly messaged her or mentioned her in a segment, right? So there's a lot of people that are very.
Is that girl that you're always like?
No, that's
promoting?
Justice. No.
Oh.
I knew you were gonna say that. No, Justice does art and pictures. No, Simri does a lot of pet battle video guides and stuff. And,
Lycan said, "Who is this broad that he keeps talking
she makes
about?"
these coloring things.
But she does really good work in the community. I do like her stuff.
German Banks is too enthralled with Asmongold. Sorry.
No, yeah, and
it's your boy.
It's your boy. No, you know what? And I felt bad that I was too soft to him on because I think of you saying that stuff about how I love Asmongold so much, and I don't. I really like him. I like his work. I don't watch too much, but I felt like I was such a soft punk. Like I was trying to be nice about pet battles, and he's like, "I'd kill you," and I'm like, "What? I'd kill you!" Like you're talking about pets from patches ago that suck.
Whenever people tell me that I'm ranting or that I'm being bitchy, it's really weird because I want to send them to Asmongold's channel because I'm like, "That's weird. You think I'm this terrible person because occasionally I rant about stuff." Like that's what he does. That's what Asmongold's famous for. But Asmongold's that type of guy that just calls it like it is. And we need more of those types of people that are not afraid to say how they feel. And I think it's not my particular brand of thing, but I think that's good. He's educational and I appreciate that. He's very, very smart when it comes to World of Warcraft, and it's a fun conversation to have with him. We actually need to bring him back. I should have.
Well, like you said too, like how you or him go on rants. I think you've both grown where you're like trying to come up with solutions. Like it's okay to bitch about what Blizzard's doing, but you seriously think of like what can make PvP better, or
like here, let me complain about your problem, but then I'm also going to offer an alternative that Blizzard will never listen to because it's just little guy me. Nobody cares, but it's nice for the community to be able to hear that for sure. I agree.
I don't know though. That Murloc change was kind of convenient.
Dude, I'm telling you, that was really weird that I was like, hey, this is really cheap. You just put some wings on him and you called that Illidari Murky.
The next couple of days
and
later.
Then literally a week later, there's a brand new model of a full-fledged Mercadan or whatever.
Well, they're influenced by some of the stuff you do. What did you mention today? It was nice that they gave out a shout-out for the gnomes. They were scared you were going to rip Blizzard apart like the add-ons. You're like, if you don't give them credit.
And they shut down another one. What was the one they just shut down, the group finder?
It was our World Quest group finder.
Yeah, the World Quest group finder, which is fine. I mean, they have one in game. It's not like
apparently it was causing lag on the servers, which I don't think it was at all.
They probably just want people to use theirs, which is fine. I mean, I get it. It's their game. I don't harbor no ill will. Did anybody buy that at all? I'm just checking your guys' faces to see if like anybody actually believed me.
Donovan and I will make funny faces and roll our eyes, but no, you've come a long way. I'm sure one person rolled their eyes listening.
As a famous person once said, I'm not afraid.
To take a stand for sure. I agree with that statement. So guys, I think that is a great show that we have had. I am really, really happy to have sat down with you fine gentlemen. Missing the secret sauce this week for sure.
I feel a little neglected because you don't care about what we did.
Oh shit, I really didn't ask what you guys did. Jim, I know you had a very fruitful week, and I know you were playing Horde. What did you do this week?
Well, actually, I asked and tried to fill one of my segments up with not only companion pet stuff, but some hunter stuff, right? So a couple people did reach out, even though in the back of my mind, I knew the whole time kind of what I was going to play. But a couple people did reach out about their hunter experiences. So thank you very much for that. A couple people did say BM as well. And, you didn't have to say much for me to want to play BM because I already have a lot of cool pets. And of course, there's a lot more bosses that I need to go tame. But I'm still just doing marksman because I really enjoy marksman for multiple reasons, right? So I started PvP because I mentioned I wanted my Horde fanatic and I wanted to just kind of build up the weapon and see what kind of numbers we can eventually pull. So that was a lot of fun. A lot of war song, like with my hunter. That's for those of you that don't know, that's my main for years, right? So all my achievements are on that character, and I want my Conqueror title. So all I need is the war song rep. So the war song scramble was good because not only is it rep towards that, but if you win, you get 10 flag claps. That's 1,000 rep towards your faction. So I had a blast doing that. I was still grinding out AP on my monk, and I'm legit trying to get a legendary on my DPS, right? I've got best in slot for my heals, and then I got bracers, which is cool. But, you know, I started pumping in a lot of artifact power, which is kind of taking away from my healing, obviously. But, you know, all of you guys know, as you pump up your DPS artifact weapons, you're seeing bigger numbers, and that's almost like addicting, right? When you start seeing larger numbers. So I'm legit pumping into my DPS spec, even though it's not the best idea, but you know, I'll let you guys know when I eventually get my DPS legendary. So yeah, just a lot of that and a lot of world quests. So I've been having a lot of fun in WoW.
Rem, I know we kind of,
your voice.
We have like a crappy week in WoW, but
Yeah, during the week it's like pretty much a 70-hour work week, so there was no time for gaming. But like I said, all Saturday evening was Song Scramble, and then I picked up on all the Broken Shore, what should we call it? World Quest. There you go, brain fart again.
You did them all, or?
Well, yeah, in that for that day, or the
Okay.
the rotation of them, yeah.
Hmm.
Other than that, not a lot of gaming at all. Sad day. Well, sad week.
Think of all the Warcraft stuff you can buy with all the extra money you made. He's searching right
Buy
now.
some leggings. I am actually on
gonna
this.
buy some Pwnecast banana hammocks.
I got an email from Blizzard saying,
Oh yeah, they have gear on sale. Get them.
Like specific.
Get them leggings.
I'm never buying anything for full price ever again from Blizzard. No more impulse buys, Blizzard. I got your blanket for $17. F your $17. My blanket will be here soon. It's in Florida and it's going to be driven to me. Belle, did you play? I know you had a limited week, but I think you did a little bit.
I at least did every 3 days of the emissaries. I would log in and just do those. I would do them from the work PC actually, because I'm obsessed with the Paragon stuff because I want those mounts. So that's actually kind of been what my focus has been is grinding out that Paragon rep. It's kind of pissing me off because I went from getting 773 gold in my Paragon chest to now getting 992. Thanks to fucking Heat Blizzard. Maybe you could help me out and give me something besides gold. But I'm not going to complain, guys, because if it was easy, everybody would have them already. So
I honestly feel like you're going to get the mount this week. I feel like next show you'll have a mount.
I just want the Nightfallen.
Well, I can't promise you that. I just feel like you'll get it. So, congrats.
Does anybody else hear that echo? I'm hearing myself echo, and it's through one of your guys' headset. I don't know who it is. Anyway.
It's probably...
My dog was snoring earlier, and I muted her.
But I've been doing that because I'm, like I said, super obsessed with the Paragon stuff. I want the Nightfallen carpet for sure. Like that's on my hit list of stuff that I need to have. And then I've been doing, making sure I've been doing the PvP world quests. And then while I have my downtime, you know, when I wasn't able to log in or whatever, I would do all my emissary or my missions on my phone. Now let me tell you, when I logged in yesterday, I got 2 full traits of all the tokens that I had gotten through my missions. I had gotten rep tokens. I've been doing the Legion Fall rep tokens to be able to get that. And I got a legendary randomly.
Oh, nice.
Out of, I don't even know what I opened. It was something I got from a mission board that was a little box. And I opened it and I got the Kill Jaden trinket, which is, I'm still deciding if that's useful or not. But it's not the belt, which is really what I need. That's my best in slot, like my best legendary ever. I've been told is the belt. So, but it was nice because I had gone quite a long time without a legendary, and I thought it was kind of weird because I had been doing lots of stuff to kind of proc that legendary drop and still hadn't been getting it, but which is fine because, you know, I'm not Aja who gets 20 of them. God, her luck is amazing.
But you motivated me, at least as a listener, to use that app. I've been using it like crazy.
It's so good. And if you run out of resources, go use your Blood of Sargeras, log in and re-up, or go run some world quests, get another, 15K, and then burn it down again. That's what I've been doing. But it's been really good for the rep, for the Paragon stuff, and for the AP. And then making sure you're doing your research so that you're getting the double and triple. But it's been really good. So even though I haven't been active, I still... log into the mobile armory too so that I can chat, like stock chat and stuff. But my officers have been holding it down and it's been really nice. It's been really nice, actually. So, with that being said, guys, that is the show. I have to go prep because Rem will be here Friday.
Oh, snap.
We're going to have I don't know what we're doing.
The girl...
We're gonna grill and we're gonna go see Guardians of the Galaxy. I waited. We didn't go see it opening weekend, so we could wait for him to come down.
Before we end, I was actually gonna shoot an idea out in the open.
Whoa.
So, with the DitchCon, Bell and everyone is thinking of board games in the lobby area, and I was wondering if anyone had any suggestions or anything that they would think would work well with drinks, party, and a lobby.
I like the way you think. So when he's talking about the lobby, we have like a foyer. So when you walk into...
A fancy way of saying it, yeah.
When you walk into our thing, there's like an entranceway and we have tables in there. That's like the quiet spot. Then you walk into another room and then that's the big ballroom where we have the DJ. So this year what I wanted to do, we talked about it, is doing tabletop games for that quiet place. That way, people get, instead of just sitting awkwardly at the table drinking, they could play some tabletop games. When I say tabletop, I'm not talking about Connect 4 people, even though Rem...
I'm really good
I know.
I was saying Connect 4.
Rem has been lobbying for Connect 4 for like 2 days. But there's several, like obviously Cards Against Humanity, but what are some good nerd tabletop games that you guys would, if you guys have ideas, as Rem said, comment on the show. If you're an iTunes listener, send an email to bell@pwnecast.net. bell@pwnecast.net.
She's
Rem,
being serious.
I love you for thinking outside the box.
Drunken Jenga, guys. Drunken Jenga.
Do you know that Trouble is Canadian's version of Sorry? I think.
I like both, so it's all good.
I will kill you in Connect 4. I know you're a smart guy. Your IQ is higher than mine. It's okay. It's not a big question. But I will kill you in Connect 4. Yeah, I said it.
Okay. I'm buying Connect 4 for the party.
Yeah, let's do it. Not to take away, Bell, it's not an official game. We're going to have better titles, but we're going to have one to the side just in case, okay?
You guys are fucking nuts.
People listening are going to try to battle us because we're going to, it'll probably be a draw, maybe.
Loser has to take shots.
I want to know if anyone's noticed that the last couple episodes I have worked really hard to stay quiet because people say I talk a lot.
I didn't notice.
So I just wanted to make sure that people have noticed that I have made the effort to not talk as much and to let you guys do a lot of the talking.
Well, how do you feel about that? How do you feel it's going? Because we're dull sometimes, right? So based on your observation...
That's really the only reason I talk so much is because it's a paranoia thing. Like, I'm not...
I thought you were going to say because we're dull.
No, I didn't mean because you guys were dull. I just mean like, excuse me, I worry that there's like a quiet moment. So I just need to get comfortable in the silence because good things are hidden in the dark, guys. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds like super legit. So,
The Sound of Silence. Good song.
With that being said, guys, it's time for us to get on out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for just being you. And thank you.
And give us $10, please, if you have.
And give us money on our Kickstarter because I'm sick of begging. It's getting annoying. Just kidding. I don't mind begging because I ain't too proud to beg. No?
No.
I mean, you're okay with begging because we're the ones that are bringing out the knee pads, so...
Gotta do what you gotta do, Gant. Like, I mean, I'm gonna need you guys to pull your weight, and if you gotta do some pee-pee touches, pee-pee pulls, whatever way,
we'll get her done.
You want to lead out with a donkey roll? No?
I think how do you do it? Yeah. He taught me.
Guys, we're gonna get on out here. Oh my god, that is what they do. They like do both sides. I just embarrassed myself in front of company. We're gonna get on out here, guys.
There you go.
That was really embarrassing. I did it and I don't even mind.
I think you did quite well.
I do.
Good shit.
Nate been messaging me the whole show. He's bored in the other Zoom, that's why.
Oh, is he in there?
Yeah, he's in the other Zoom.
Is he? Or has he been lately?
No, I
Every
think
once in a while.
Every once in a while, I think it's because when he can't sleep, he doesn't have
Yeah.
anything better to do. Just wants to harass me.
Give us a big chug for the way or on the way out of the show.
This
Just
is
know-
delicious.
I'm